All right, good afternoon, everybody. Event Trader here. Going to just take us into the close of trade by taking a look at the week ahead. Obviously, we got a holiday weekend coming up the following week, after the following week, so that should dry up a little bit of participation as we've been talking about. But there are some interesting events that'll close out the month of August for us. So I want to just kind of do a run through on some of the bigger macro items out, and surprisingly, kind of a busy week on the earnings front too, which obviously, given the timing and everything, one would not expect. But there's a few names out there that are going to be of interest to the investment community. So going through and taking a look at what we have in front of us, we'll start off as per usual with the U.S. macro. Monday, not a lot of items of interest going on there, to be honest. So jumping right in over to Tuesday, where we'll get the July International Trade in Goods, as well as some housing price data with the Case-Shiller out at 9 a.m. Tuesday morning. And then probably the most important report that we have on Tuesday will be that August consumer confidence. Certainly retail has been in the spotlight for a lot of people. So this consumer confidence number, as we start heading closer to that all-important holiday season, will certainly be of interest for the markets, and one that will have us continuing to focus on the retail sector, which despite the broad market strength has pulled back a little bit today. Moving on to Wednesday, we will have our second estimate of the Q2 GDP. To be honest, nobody cares about Q2 GDP really anymore, except for some models perhaps. Q3 is what we want, so wouldn't expect much of an impact from this Q2 number. With Q3, for one side note, the Atlanta Fed came out with a plus 4.6% expectation. I thought that was pretty impressive, so something just to kind of keep in mind. But for GDP numbers, you get three estimates over the course of the quarter, and really about 10 minutes after the first estimate is put out, the GDP numbers kind of fall off the radar for traders, and obviously they'll remain on the radar for the economists looking to fill in their models and everything. But once that number's out for trading purposes, it doesn't have much of an impact. We'll also get some pending home sales later on Wednesday, and of course the crude inventories, and as well as a 7-year bond auction. On Thursday, probably the most important day on the economic data front, we're going to get the personal income and spending numbers, as well as PCE prices, which is of course the primary indicator for the Fed on inflation, so a key number there. And then some claims data will be joining that. That'll certainly be overshadowed, and then natural gas inventories later on. On Friday, we'll get the August Chicago PMI numbers, as well as a revision to that University of Michigan sentiment. Again, a revision, so not a lot of waiting there. Moving on to the international macro next. I put the Jackson Hole Symposium under the international macro. We'll keep an eye out for headlines over the weekend, but this is certainly shaping up to be a non-event, since we did get, well, I wouldn't say a complete non-event. Obviously, Powell helped boost us earlier, but wouldn't expect a lot of impact given the speakers that are on tap and the subjects being covered. So it's something of interest for the economists out there, but shouldn't really impact markets at all. On Monday, we're going to get some China industrial profits, and perhaps the biggest report will be the Germany IFO business survey. Tuesday, we'll get the Bank of Japan's CPI numbers, as well as Eurozone money supply and private loans. Moving on to Wednesday, we'll get a Japan consumer confidence number, Germany's GfK consumer survey. So as you can see, some German sentiment will certainly be in the mix early. France's consumer spending and Q2 GDP numbers, and a Mexico central bank inflation report that could be of interest. Moving on to Thursday, we'll get some German CPI numbers out, as well as from Spain, Germany's latest jobs report, And we'll also get a 10-year bond auction from Italy, which could certainly be of interest. Then we got the UK GFK consumer confidence number later on that morning. On Friday, China's PMI numbers will start crossing the wires. The rest of the PMI data won't be out until early Tuesday. Well, Monday in Europe and Tuesday, of course, because of the Labor Day holiday in the U.S. And then we'll get Eurozone CPI numbers later on that morning. On the conference front, nothing of great interest here. I would note that VMware analyst meeting, certainly will be some odds there. And then Credit Suisse has a China Internet conference that we're going to want to take a look at and see who's going to be presenting there. And then on the earnings front, Tuesday, we got Best Buy out, we got Tiffany's, we got Hewlett-Packard's other unit, HPE out, and cannabis stock, TLRY, which has certainly been on a lot of radars, and that's Tilray, of course. Moving on to Wednesday, definitely retail focus here with AEO, American Eagle. We got Brown-Forman, so a little bit of look into the trade impact there that the European tariffs are having on U.S. goods. We got DKS, which is of course Dick's. Which is of course Dick's Sporting Goods. We also have Eaton Vance and Movado getting a little look into the watches, and then Guess Jeans will be out, and Salesforce.com CRM will be due out on Wednesday. On Thursday, some more retailers with Abercrombie and Fitch, A&F, Burlington out. It's also out BURL. And CPB, which is, of course, the staple play Campbell's, so that's certainly been in the news a lot as of late. We'll also get the dollar stores out with DG and Dollar Tree, DLTR. Signet, which, of course, Robert Reed took a look at with us earlier today. Ambarella, AMBA's due out. Lululemon, LULU. And then also cloud security play Nutanix, NTNX, a popular name for TechT, of course, and a stock that I know I was just talking with Trend Tracker who liked it. And then we also have Ulta, so another look in the at the perfume and fragrance business. So that is what we are looking at next week. So not the busiest of weeks, of course. Low participation will be around, but certainly some of names of interest on the earnings front, and some macro reports that we'll need to keep a close eye on to see if we get any action there. This could create some volatility for us as we head towards that Labor Day weekend. But as per usual, if there's any questions at all, please feel free to